James, an avid hiker with a passion for uncovering the hidden mysteries of nature, frequently ventured into the sprawling forests surrounding his hometown. Known for his insatiable curiosity and knack for exploration, James relished the solitude and beauty of uncharted trails. One crisp autumn morning, with a cool breeze rustling the golden leaves, he set out on what he thought would be an ordinary hike. Little did he know, his journey would lead him to a discovery that would change everything. As James trudged deeper into the forest, the familiar sounds of chirping birds and rustling branches accompanied his every step. He had walked this path countless times before, but today something caught his eye. Through a break in the dense trees, he glimpsed an unnatural structure. Intrigued, he pushed through the underbrush and emerged into a small clearing, where he stood face to face with the anomaly of building, sleek and modern, seemingly dropped into the wilderness from another world. The structure's smooth, featureless walls reflected the dappled sunlight, and its design was unlike anything James had ever seen. What immediately stood out was its lack of doors, windows, or any discernible entry points. It appeared utterly impenetrable, as though it were meant to keep the world out or something inside. James's heart quickened with excitement and unease. Who had built this? Why here? And most importantly, what was inside? James began to circle the building, running his hands along its cold, metallic surface. He pressed his ear against it, hoping to detect some hint of activity. At first there was nothing but silence, but then he felt a faint vibration, almost imperceptible, resonating through the walls. His mind raced with possibilities. Could it be a secret lab? A military installation? Or perhaps something far more sinister? Determined to satisfy his curiosity, James decided to find a way to see inside. He rummaged through his backpack and found his trusty Swiss Army knife. Using it, he fashioned a crude ladder from fallen branches and some sturdy rope he carried for emergencies. After several painstaking attempts, he managed to secure the ladder against the building, leading up to a small barred opening on the second floor. He climbed cautiously, each step bringing him closer to the unknown. Peering through the opening, James's breath caught in his throat. Inside the building was a maze of machinery, humming quietly but emitting a faint blue glow. The machines, rows upon rows of them, seemed to pulse with energy, their purpose enigmatic. There were no signs of human presence, no chairs, no tools, no clutter. It was as if the machines were operating themselves. James squinted, trying to make sense of the scene, when suddenly a voice boomed from within. "Hey, who's there?" Startled, James lost his balance. The ladder wobbled precariously before giving way, sending him tumbling to the ground. He landed hard, pain shooting through his shoulder as he hit the forest floor. Adrenaline surged through him, dulling the pain and propelling him to his feet. He didn't wait to see who or what had spoken. With his heart pounding, James ran as fast as he could, branches scratching his arms and legs as he fled the clearing. When he finally stopped, gasping for air, he pulled out his phone and called the police. His voice trembled as he recounted what he'd seen, emphasizing the unnatural nature of the building and the machines within. The dispatcher listened carefully, though there was skepticism in her tone. Despite this, James's palpable fear and detailed account convinced her to send a team to investigate. Within an hour, a group of officers arrived at the trailhead. James, still shaken and nursing his injured shoulder, led them back to the clearing. The officers' skepticism melted away when they saw the structure for themselves. Like James, they were struck by its stark modernity and lack of entry points. One officer climbed James's makeshift ladder to peer inside, confirming the presence of the strange machines. However, the voice James had heard was nowhere to be found, and the building appeared deserted. The officers decided to call for reinforcements and specialized equipment to breach the structure safely. While they waited, James shared more details, including the faint vibrations he had felt and the low hum emanating from within. The lead officer nodded thoughtfully, acknowledging that the situation was highly unusual. When additional resources arrived, the team used advanced tools to cut through the building's exterior. Once inside, they were greeted by a scene straight out of a science fiction movie. The machines were revealed to be part of a massive cryptocurrency mining operation. Rows of high-powered servers hummed quietly, their blinking lights casting eerie shadows on the walls. The air inside was cool, maintained by industrial-grade air conditioning systems, despite the building's remote location. The lack of visible power sources baffled the investigators. A closer inspection revealed an underground cable connecting the building to the local power grid, an illegal siphon that had gone unnoticed for months. The sheer scale of the operation suggested it was part of a larger network, likely run by a well-funded and organized group. As the officers documented the scene, they discovered a hidden hatch leading to an underground tunnel. The tunnel stretched for nearly half a mile, ending at another concealed structure. This second building was even more sophisticated, housing additional mining equipment and signs of recent activity, including discarded food wrappers and maintenance tools. However, the perpetrators had vanished, leaving behind only traces of their presence. The discovery made headlines, drawing attention to the growing issue of illegal cryptocurrency mining. Experts explained how such operations exploited stolen electricity to power their energy-intensive activities, often causing significant financial and environmental harm. The forest, once a haven of tranquility, had become the epicenter of a high-tech crime scene. For James, the experience was surreal. What had begun as a routine hike had turned into an adventure he would never forget. The authorities commended him for his vigilance and quick thinking, and he received a formal acknowledgement for his role in uncovering the operation. Yet James couldn't shake the feeling that there was more to the story, that the forest still held secrets waiting to be unearthed. As the investigation continued, James often replayed the events of that day. The sound of the voice inside the building haunted him, and he wondered who had spoken and why they had vanished so suddenly. Despite the mysteries surrounding the structure's origins, James found some solace in knowing he had helped prevent further environmental and financial damage. The investigation continued for months, eventually leading to the arrest of several individuals connected to the operation. The ringleaders were charged with multiple crimes, including energy theft, tax evasion, and operating without permits. The equipment was seized, and the profits from the mining operation were confiscated and redirected to community projects. As for the mysterious building, it was dismantled and removed, leaving behind only an empty clearing. The forest slowly reclaimed the land, erasing the traces of human interference. For James, life returned to normal, but he often found himself drawn back to the clearing, wondering what other mysteries might be hidden in the vast, untamed wilderness.